Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming with the weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Louis Vuitton Speedy 25 bandolier in the monogram canvas. Alright, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's start your work. Let's go to work, let's do laundry, whatever it is that you do, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Starting with the first question from Melissa Morales. Thoughts on the new Louis Vuitton collection designed by Virgil? Are you loving the neon as much as I am? Thoughts on Rihanna collaborating with Louis Vuitton? Alright, so these are awesome questions, and first things first, my thoughts on the new Louis Vuitton collection designed by Virgil. I think some of the pieces are very interesting. They're not necessarily for me. And I'd have to say that my all-time favorite by far has got to be that iridescent Kiko. Let me insert a picture of that bad boy right now. It is a beauty. Is it practical? No. Is it gorgeous? Absolutely it is. And I believe that the price point is a little over $3,000 if I'm not mistaken. So it does have a pretty price point. And like I said before, some of the pieces I do find interesting. They're not necessarily something that I would gravitate towards. But it's kind of like a fun new twist that that they added to the fashion house. So I think that's really great. I think it'll do extremely well. And there is a line, I think it's called the Yellow Brick Road line, and seeing as how The Wizard of Oz is one of my all-time favorite movies, I do like that they have some pieces with that. You know, of course they don't have the 4 characters on there, but still, I think that they're pretty cool. Now, as far as the neon goes, I'm not too big of a fan when it comes to neon. I do appreciate it from afar, and I think some pieces are really great, but still, it's not necessarily for me. I mean, I can't even pull off neon nail polish to save my life. So it is definitely one of those things that I appreciate from afar. But so far there hasn't really been anything that has jumped out that I've wanted to add to my collection. And my thoughts on Rihanna collaborating with Louis Vuitton, I am so excited. I think it is absolutely amazing. And I mean, she has been successful in every single avenue that she has pursued, and there is no doubt in my mind that she will excel at this as well. You know, so I'm really curious to see what she has in store for us, because I really like her style. I like the fact that she's not afraid to be bold. She's kind of edgy. She has a little bit of gaudiness. I don't know, but I absolutely love her style, and I wish her all the success in the world, because I know that that this line that she creates will be, I think it'll be absolutely fabulous. So I'm really excited to see what she comes up with. But I would love to hear your thoughts on Virgil's collection. Are there pieces that you like? Are there pieces that you have added to your collection? Whatever it is, let us know in the comment section down below. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Akong331. I recently got my first Hermes, the Calvi. Can you please do an updated wear and tear on yours? Would you use it in your lambskin Chanel rectangular mini? All right, so major congratulations on your Calvi. I absolutely love them. And so we have a little bit more eye candy. I brought both of mine out. They are both in the Epsom leather. This is in the color Bougainvillea, and this is in the rose purple or the pink purple. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name because I know I will butcher it. And I've had this guy for going on almost a year, and I've had this one a little over 2 years. And I have put these things through the ringer, and as far as wear and tear goes, they have held up insanely well. I haven't had any issues with cracking, with peeling, with tearing. I haven't experienced color transfer with them either, so I think that's really great. But let me just show you guys. You would expect to see that something that you open up this way to start to wear a lot faster here on the crease. And check it out. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it or not, but it has held up very nicely. No problems with, like I said, with tearing or anything like that. And even if I open it up all the way, the crease isn't too deep either, as much as you would expect, especially because I do use these quite often. So I think that they're wonderful. You can fit anywhere from 25 to 30 cards plus cash. I mean, you can fit as much as you would in here as you do a large size wallet. I know some people aren't a fan. I know I've talked about this before, just because it does have just 2 little compartments, but these compartments are very generous, very spacious, and I think that they're awesome. So I highly recommend them if you are looking for a new card holder. Now, as far as using them inside of the Chanel Mini, absolutely, whether it's lambskin or caviar leather. And the reason why is because of what I said earlier. You can fit as much as you would in a large size wallet, and it still won't be too bulky. It's quite slender, and I like that you can maximize your space when you're going into a smaller handbag. So check it out. Just to give you guys a better visual, let me put this guy in here. hang on. There we go. You can see that it is a small space, but you can still fit a few other small leather goods, your phone in here if you have an ancient one like I do, maybe some keys. So you can still fit quite a few more small leather goods, and you don't necessarily have to compromise the space when it comes to a wallet or what it is that you want to carry. So I absolutely do, and I highly, highly recommend these guys. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Elizabeth Aniqui. Hopefully I said that correctly. Just starting a collection this year on the Speedy 30 that my hubby purchased, and now I realize I definitely need a bag that is versatile and with a strap. What bag would you recommend to start with? Again, just beginning and must save for them, so I want to make the wisest first choice. Okay, so I love the Speedy 30, the classic. I mean, you guys know that I am a die-hard fan when it comes to that silhouette. I think it's wonderful, but I completely understand where you're coming from when it comes to a strap and you need that added versatility, right? So I do have 3 different bags that if you want to take a look at, maybe they might end up working out for your lifestyle. The first one, I'm gonna have to go with the good old Speedy bandolier. If you like the classic Speedy look and you like the fact that you can fit a little bit more in there and you just like the overall shape that it has, the Speedy bandolier, my goodness, this strap here is an absolute game changer. You guys know I wasn't always the biggest fan of this, you know, and it does have multiple adjustments. The strap, if you go for the monogram, is very comfortable, or even if you go for the damier azur. I know that a lot of people also like the damier bend because it is carefree. So if you are a fan of the Speedy, if you like the silhouette and you want something a lot more versatile, then definitely check out the bandolier version, whether you go for the 35, the 30, or the 25. I personally like the 25 a little bit better just because it is a little bit smaller, but it's still not tiny. You know, you can get away with carrying a lot in here. So it's very deceiving. And I really like the way that it looks, you know, when you have it on crossbody. So I think that this is a great option. The other 2 that I wanted to recommend are the Sienna and also the Terrain. The Terrain is available in the monogram canvas, and the Sienna is in the damier bend canvas. And if you want something more carefree, I would go for the Sienna. If you want the monogram, then I would go for the Terrain. But both of those bags are very versatile. They do have the adjustable strap. They are quite spacious. And I also like the fact that when you do carry them crossbody, they're not too bulky. And that to me is always important when it comes to a crossbody bag, because I want something that's not necessarily going to protrude off of my body, because if I'm out in a crowd or anything like that, I don't want to be bumping into to other people, or you know, if I'm in a store, I don't want to knock things off the shelf, because that has happened to me before. So those 3 are the ones that I would definitely recommend, you know, to take a look at. If you guys have any recommendations, let us know in the comment section down below. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Holo Adventures. Hopefully I said that correctly. Do you see yourself falling out of love with Louis Vuitton 5 to 10 years from now? I've loved Louis Vuitton for the last 10 years, but now I'm disappointed with the brand. I feel the quality is not the same, especially after my experience of having 2 items that were not repairable, and a recent wallet exchange that was misaligned. Chanel has recently won my heart, and it's been going strong for 2+ years. This is a fabulous question. And do I see myself falling out of love with Louis Vuitton 5 to 10 years from now? I don't know. I don't know. And that's the honest truth. I don't know, because I have noticed that I buy less and less from the brand as the years go by. You know, so if one year it's 10 items, the next year it's 8. So I have bought less and less. I have also had my experiences when it comes to repairs, or when it comes to items that haven't worn the way that they should be wearing. I'm not talking about having an item for 10 years and then all of a sudden it falls apart. No. I'm talking about items that you know, you've had for a couple months and then all of a sudden they start to kind of unravel, type of thing. So I've also experienced that, and I completely understand where you're coming from, because it's disheartening, especially when you have that special place, you have that soft spot for that brand, and you start to see that it changes, you know, from where it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago to where it is now. You start to hear of people having a lot more problems with quality control and things like that. And I've said it before, and I know that this is not a popular opinion, but I feel that they're not very consistent when it comes to either customer service or their quality. I feel that they're kind of all over the place in comparison to maybe some of the other fashion houses that are out there. You know, but to each their own. And like I said before, it is quite disheartening that you start to hear of so many things going on with them. And I took a break from them. I think it was maybe now 4 years ago. I took a break from Louis Vuitton because I was having a lot of issues with repairs and just things were, you know, falling apart, if you will. So I took a break from them, and it was kind of bittersweet. It was bittersweet because I was, you know, I was kind of like, oh man, I can't believe that I'm not going into the store. I feel like I'm not supporting my favorite brand. But at the same time, I'm really happy that I did, because I was able to experience other brands that I would have never thought to experience before. I fell in love with Chanel. Chanel definitely has won my heart. And even though I will always have a soft spot for Louis Vuitton, my love for Chanel is going really strong as well. So again, I understand where you're coming from. But yeah, you know, so I was able to discover other brands, and I was able to discover other silhouettes and other materials that I wouldn't necessarily you know, ever think to even glance in that direction. It was great, and it was really eye-opening at the same time, you know. So I'm really happy that now I no longer, you know, stick to just one brand. I like to incorporate other brands and even contemporary brands that I'm looking to add to my collection, you know, because I'm trying to further my horizon when it comes to handbags or small leather goods in general. But you know, at the end of the day, do I see myself falling out of love with them? I really don't know. I don't know. And I am always going to root for them. I am always going to be on the sidelines, you know, hoping that they get back to where they were before, and they're able to turn it around. And then all of a sudden, Louis Vuitton, because it is the most popular luxury fashion house, it is the most, you know, it's the one that makes the most amount of money. And I would like that is also matched by their customer service and their quality type of thing, you know? I don't know. At least that's the way that I feel. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. What do you guys think? Do you see yourself falling out of love with it? Are you completely done with the fashion house? Have you moved on to something else? Whatever it is, let us know in the comment section down below. But fabulous question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. The next two questions are somewhat similar. They have similar topics, so I wanted to jump from one straight into the other. But the first one is from Songstit. I have not heard you talk much about the Polène handbags since the unboxing. Do you still enjoy them? If not, what causes you to repel from them? All right, so we have a little bit more eye candy. I did bring out both of the bags. I have the Polène #1 and also the Polène #1 mini. And I also have the #6. That guy I've only used it once, so I still have it up on my shelf. And do I still enjoy them? I absolutely do. I'm crazy about these bags. Between the two, I end up using the #1 mini a lot more often. I don't know if it's necessarily just because it's just compact. I really like the color combination. Not that I don't like this combination, because this color is gorgeous. I know that on camera it's showing up a little bit more brick, but in real life, it has more of like a plum, a dark plum or oxblood to it. So it's very, very nice. So on the days that I want to go for a handbag that doesn't have this ginormous logo, if I want something very, very understated, and I want something smaller, I go for this one. On the days that I want that same thing but with a bigger handbag, I go for this guy. All right, so on to the second question from Dan and Teeters. Hopefully I said that correctly. Can you compare the size of your Pochette Métis to the larger Polène Paris bag and give us an update on how you're feeling about the bags? The reason I am asking is because I had a Pochette Métis in the monogram and I loved it, but I had cracking on the sides and on the canvas. Louis Vuitton gave me store credit, but I did not repurchase because of all the issues. However, I find myself missing it like crazy. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I also brought out the Pochette Métis just in case. So here it is in the monogram canvas, and here it is side by side with the Polène #1. This guy ends up fitting as much as my Chanel Deauville and my Neverfull. Of course, if you end up fitting a little bit more in here, it'll get quite heavy because it is an all leather handbag. So I wanted to throw that out there just in case you are looking to add this back to your collection. But once again, here they are side by side. So this, in my eyes, is a medium sized bag, and this is a large sized bag. But when it comes to Polène bags in general, I still absolutely love them. I think that when it comes to their price point and the quality that you're getting, I think it's great because I feel that it doesn't have this ginormous logo. It doesn't scream the type of bag that it is. And I also like the silhouettes because they're somewhat different from anything else that someone has out there, you know, and you have a variety of different colors to choose from. This one is a lot more versatile than this one because you can end up taking off that strap. You can use this one crossbody. It also has adjustments on the strap if you wanted to make it a little bit shorter or a little bit longer, whereas this guy, it is a one size fits all type of chain, and at times it can end up digging into your shoulder if you carry too much. I try to push the envelope when it came to this bag, and I try to carry a little bit more with me, and when I went to go put it on my shoulder, I was able to feel that weight, and I was able to feel that chain kind of dig into my shoulder. So it wasn't necessarily the most comfortable, and I found that if I go to use it crossbody, it doesn't feel like it's digging in as if it were on my shoulders. So I also wanted to throw that out there just in case. So to answer your questions, yes, I do enjoy them, and it's all a matter of what it is that I want to go for that day. If I want something understated, and if I want something a little bit bigger and something that has more versatility, then I end up going for the number 1. And if I want something smaller, then I end up going for the number 1 mini. But I do incorporate them into my rotation, and I just really like the brand. I really like the quality, and the price points are, I mean, they're unreal when it comes to the quality that you're getting for these handbags. So I still love Polène Paris, and I look forward to doing a review on both of these bags the more and more that I use them. So I don't know if this is helpful, but fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Christine Manalo. Hopefully I said that correctly. What do you think of the Chanel Small Classic wallet? Have you ever owned one? All right, so before we get any further, let me insert a picture of this wallet right now. It's a beautiful wallet. I love the fact that it has quite a few credit card slots. It has a bill slot, so I think that's super helpful. It also has the coin compartment on the back side. But to be completely honest with you, I've never really been too intrigued to add it to my collection. And that's because even though it is quite compact, I also find it to be just a little too tall. So if I was to put it inside of either my mini or a smaller handbag, I feel that it might end up taking away from how much space I want to have within the bag, so I can carry other small leather goods. So that's the only reason, because I have checked it out a few times. I have taken some of my handbags in there just to kind of play around with it. And like I said before, there are so many details and so many aspects that I appreciate, but at the end of the day, I feel that it's just a little too big for the type of wallet that I'm going for. So that's why I usually end up going for the O-zip coin purse, because it's a lot more slender and it still has those compartments, and I can maximize my space when it comes to a smaller handbag. But it is absolutely beautiful nonetheless. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. And the last question from Katie B. What's the longest you have gone without switching your bag or small leather goods? All right, so the longest I have gone without switching my handbag or small leather goods, when I first got my Neverfull, the Demi Azur one, I used that thing, I mean, for weeks at a time, months and months at a time. I absolutely loved it. Same thing with the small leather goods that I had back then. And if you fast forward anywhere from 5 to 6 years, I tend to switch out of bags probably every couple of days. And the reason that is because I do tend to get very stir crazy, you know? So sometimes it all depends on my mood. Sometimes it depends on the color that I want to rock, or the combination, or whatever the case may be. But that's usually what I end up doing. And I've actually had people ask me if it takes me a long time to switch out from either a small leather good to another one, or from a handbag into another one. And it doesn't. It takes me maybe a few minutes at most. I have a system in place, and I mean, it's not like I sit here for hours trying to think of what I'm going to put in there. No, I'm determined. I'm like, okay, this goes here, this goes there. I want this bag done, you know, and then I'm out the door or whatever. But yeah, nowadays I end up switching out of them a little bit more frequently. And when we do travel, I do take one bag, and that bag I'll use for the entire, trip. I don't really like to carry too many bags with me when I travel anyways. So traveling, I do end up carrying the same bag for 7 to 10 days or whatever it is. But for the most part, on the daily, I switch out, or not on the daily, I should say, but for the most part, I end up switching out of them anywhere from 2 days to 3 days at most. But this is an awesome question, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. How frequently do you switch out of your bag or your small leather goods? If you want to share, let us know in the comments section down below. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions this week. For this week's lineup, I'm going to try to do 2 more videos. One of them I'm super, super excited about. I don't know how it's necessarily going to pan out because it might not be the most popular video, but that's all right. And I think I might end up doing either like, remember the morning chat video that I did at the end of December last year? I think I might end up doing that one of these days. I really like that. I really like just sitting down, hanging out with you guys, and not really having a rhyme or reason to the video. So I might end up doing that. And also, for those of you that answered the questions on my community post, for those of you that don't know, there is sometimes I'll end up going on YouTube and there's a place where you can put community post, and I'll often ask questions on there, and I loved your guys' feedback. One of the suggestions on that post is what I'm going to be talking about hopefully this coming weekend. So that's the one that I was saying it might not be a popular it might not be a popular video, who knows. But what do you guys think about the community post thing? I really like it because I feel that it's a little bit easier to get in touch with you guys, especially if I have a question or if there's any type of feedback that I want to get, if I'm thinking about doing a video within the next day or two. I feel it's a lot faster than necessarily going through the comment section on some of the videos. But let me know if you guys like that feature or not. But anywho, like I said, that does it for Minks Monday. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. It's getting harder, I'm telling you. It's getting so much harder to do it sometimes. Anyways, but again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.